There we go. And I'm going to share my screen and go through. And as I say, I appreciate you guys joining me here. Can you all see the slide? Just yes. Hopefully you can all see that. So obviously this is for you guys. I'll do a little bit of housekeeping right at the front. As I say, I will be recording the session. If you can turn your cameras on, I do like that. It's nice to actually speak to people. It is definitely appreciated. You know, if you can mute as we go through the first session, obviously, if you have a question, don't hesitate to throw it out there. I will be doing, this is for you guys. So if you do have questions, don't hesitate to throw it out. The slide deck that I'm showing you will be available. All you got to do is shoot me an email, ianb@hermannsonslife.org, and I will send you a copy of all of the slides that we have here. And hopefully, if I press the right record button, this will be available for people to see online. So a lot of the big questions obviously is around COVID. Now, even though it feels like the light is at the end of the tunnel and we're getting close to the end, we're still going to be applying a very layered approach to how we go about protecting our staff, protecting our campers, and making sure that we are doing everything we can to provide a safe, healthy, fun summer camp experience. Some of the things we've done to create some social distancing without affecting the program at all. As I mentioned before we hit the record, that we converted Rattlesnake into a crafts pavilion. What that did is that we've now created more space for arts and crafts, and it's also increased space for dance and yoga so that we'll be able to socially distance a little more. We bought 10 new picnic tables so we can space the campers out when they're resting and around camp. We've moved STEM reactions, which is one of our activities, to from an indoor activity to an outdoor activity. And that'll also be in Rattlesnake, which is now open. We created 10 drink stations around camp for 10-gallon water jugs so campers can fill up their water bottles kind of safely, as well as we're doing 2 meal seatings in Riverside Dining Hall and on Hilltop, which will also allow campers to kind of a little bit of elbow room, and they'll be able to space out a little bit when they're eating. Anybody who's eaten on Riverside Camp knows that when one person moves, everybody else has to move. We've spaced that out now. We've hired more staff this year, and that will allow us to cross-train them, and that'll allow us to have slightly smaller activity groups where possible. And we have moved game night to an outdoor activity as opposed to being indoors. So we've made a few steps to add a little more spacing to camp. One of the things we will be doing this year is we will be taking our campers and staff's temperatures every morning in the dorms. The counselors, we've got thermometers in each of the dorms, and we will be taking the campus temperature. Anything over 100.4, the camper or staff member will go to the clinic. They'll chill out for 45 minutes. We'll take their temp again after 45 minutes. You know, the nurse will ask them, you know, general questions, how they're feeling and stuff like that. Anytime a staff member comes in from the outside, or you know, if they're on a night off and they come back in, we'll take their temperature as they come in, and we'll also take the temperature of all campers as they come into camp. If someone has a temp, again, they'll go to the clinic. We'll kind of cool them down, give them a drink, make sure they're feeling okay, and then we'll take their temperature again after 45 minutes. If they have a temperature, we did obtain rapid tests from the state of Texas, so we can then take a test. We will not administer a test unless we get written permission from the parent. So we'll reach out to you, let the parent know. We'll say, hey, you know, we've had two high temps. Would you like us to do a rapid test? I'm not going to go over to the next slide, and you'll see why in a second. But it is available on the parents' handbook. We did update it. There's a lot going on here. The bottom line is, if let me see, if right here, if we have the second temperature, we get permission, we'll get the COVID test. If it's negative, we'll take care of the camper's temperature. We'll take care of the 100.4. The nurses will work on the symptoms, and we'll get the camper back into camp as quick as possible. Oh, sorry, let me go back. If it's a positive test, obviously we'll call the parent, and we'll talk to the parent, let them know the result. I don't know what. I'm going to have to stop using the pointer there. And then we'll have the camp packed up. We'll also, at that point in time, put in our extra cleaning protocols. We have a chemical fogger, disinfectant that we will clean the dorm with again. And we will email all of the parents of the children in that dorm and ask them if they would like us to do a test. We'll recheck the temperatures at rest periods and dinner again in the dorm to see how the rest of the campers are. If a parent doesn't want their child to be tested, we're going to assume that it's a positive COVID. That's as I say, if this is available at the parent's handbook, so please don't. It's there for you. If you need it, if you have any questions on this? No? Okay. Masking, biggest question I get a lot of questions about masking. Our camp policy is very simple. Mask wearing is strongly recommended when inside or when social distancing is not possible. The only two times that a camper will have to wear a mask is during game night and during the dance. And the reason is, at that point in time, we're bringing both camps together, and that's what we would then consider a large gathering. There'll be over 300 people together. And so at that point in time, even though they're outdoor activities, we will be asking that the campers wear masks at that time. Staff will also wear masks. For example, I will wear a mask if ever I go into a dorm. If I go into one of the boys' dorms up here to talk to some campers, I will have my mask on. CITs will wear masks when they go into a dorm that is not their own. The CITs have their own housing. They don't need to wear the masks in their dorm, but they will need to wear masks in another camper's dorm. Obviously, when we're serving food, it's cafeteria style. We'll be having masks as well as the hairnets and gloves and all that other good stuff. But that campers won't be asked to wear their masks. Now they can. We recommend it, but if they don't want to wear it, it's really individual choice, and a lot of that will come from the parents. They'll indicate what their expectations for their child, and they'll let their child know. On arrival day, again, our staff, when parents come through, will be wearing masks. Pre-camp, you guys have homework. I don't know if you noticed that when you saw. Yes, Lisa, you had a question.
I have two. How many girls are in the dorm?
It depends on the dorm, anywhere from 18 to 30.
Okay, and then I have another question about when you said if somebody in the dorm were to test positive, then you would recommend testing all of them. So if the parent declined the test for the child without symptoms,
no, we'll take their temperature. We're not going to assume they have COVID just if they're not producing any symptoms, but we'll offer it to the parents. I'm not going to recommend it to the parent. I'll call the parent and say, what do you want us to do? Would you like us to check? And you may say, no, you know what? Let's just see how it goes. You may ask us, how close was that child to my daughter? And it'll be a little more in depth, but we'll give you the option. And if your child's not showing any signs or symptoms, then, you know, we're not going to ask them to leave camp at that point in time, obviously.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, no worries. No worries. Yeah, you guys have homework. First thing, I need your medical health history form. I need it no later than 2 weeks before the start of camp. So if a camper is starting session 1, I really need their health history by May 28th. And the reason is we need to review these forms. We need to check to see if the camper has allergies. We need to check because we prepare med alert lists for our counselors in the dorms to make sure that they know their health of their children. Plus, it's required to have a health history on file by the state and by ACA. So we do need that form. And 2 weeks before camp, we're going to be mailing to you, the parents, what dorm your child is in. I can't bunk a child unless I have a health history on file. So that's why I need that form on file before session 1. Hopefully you guys have completed your dorm assignment and checkout form, which is online, which is where you can request friends who you want to bunk with. You can request top or bottom bunk, and that's where you list who is permitted to pick up their child, who's permitted to pick up your child from camp. That's where you fill that out. We also have a medication form and a COVID waiver that you can bring with you to camp at the day. And the medication form is where you list what medication your child's taking, when they take it. It has to come in the original container. It has to be in the original bottle, and we can't dispense medication unless it's in its original container, and we can only dispense the medication per the label. So if your doctor told you you know only take half, but it says take a whole pill, we can only dispense the whole unless we get something in writing from the doctor that says that that's okay. And I know sometimes with insurance, the doctors kind of tweak things, but we need it in writing. We can only dispense per the label. And you can bring that form with you. That'll speed up arrival time immensely by filling that form out and bringing it with you. And then on the second stage of the check-in, you'll stop at the nurse's station and you'll give them the medication with the form. And also, the camper, along with the parents, fills out the activity selection form, which again is an online form. So that's your homework. Now, before camp, we're not asking anybody to quarantine. As I say, things are loosening up out there. We're just asking parents to be cautious, keep an eye on their kids, watch for symptoms, that kind of stuff. I'm not expecting anyone to quarantine. We're finally this year, I know that schools are having their end of year proms and stuff like that this year, which is fantastic. Just keep an eye on your child before they come to camp. Just to, the goal is, the last thing I want to do is have to close camp because I had a kid come to camp or a staff member come to camp, and all of a sudden 12 of my staff are sick. I mean, I'm asking the staff to do the same thing, which is kind of keep an eye out for themselves and just be mindful of the signs and symptoms. Signs and symptoms, this is a CDC information. I mean, I know someone on here has allergies right now. I had pretty bad allergies early in the spring, and this is kind of a COVID versus allergies, kind of an overview from the CDC. Arrival date. This is a big one. Parents will not be permitted to leave their cars during drop-off this year. In order, again, to add a layer and to keep our staff as bubble wrapped as we can, we are having a drive-through drop-off service. Now you do have to stop the car, but it is a drive-through service. Basically, we will have staggered times for arrival. And as I said, we will send that to you 2 weeks before camp begins. So you'll be able to plan your journeys. We do ask many parents bring their RVs and trailers with them. Please don't. We have absolutely no room for RVs and trailers this year. You'll be going through a very finite and very close trail, and we've kind of marked everything out, and RVs and trailers would be extremely problematic. We have 5 stations on arrival day. Stage 1 will take the temperature and collect any outstanding paperwork. Stage 2 will be the COVID screening, you know, the questions that you get asked when you go into the doctor's offices and stuff like that. We have questions there. Stage 3 will be where will be with the nurses. You check in your medication, any changes to the health form. If you want to talk to the nurse about your child, that's stage 3. Again, all medications, original packaging, and we dispense to the prescribed dosage. Stage 4 is the camper and luggage drop-off. Again, if you put the stuff in the trunk, we just pop the hatch, we'll get it out there for you. And we will take the camper to their dorm where all their counselors, senior counselors, there'll be some CITs, everybody will be in the dorm to greet your child, to help them unpack, to help them, orientate to the dorm, show them where, give them little tours of and we'll start the process of making friends immediately they get to the dorm. Stage 5, a lot of parents, our mail service is terrible up here. I apologize if there's anybody in the USPS on this call right now, but it really is not very good up here. And so, a lot of parents bring packages of mail to drop off. We're going to have a station set up where you can leave mail with instructions. Hey, can you drop this off on Tuesday? Can you drop it on Thursday? Give it to my child on Thursday. That station will still be set up for you. And then you head on out. I understand this is more difficult for the parents than it is for the child. You have to understand when your child gets out of the car, they'll be with a counselor. They'll be escorted to their dorm. Once they get in the dorm, there'll be counselors and staff working with them, talking to them, introducing them to other kids with the same activities and likes and interests, and we'll start the process straight away. You have an empty car. One of the reasons we did the little video tours of camp, which are available at the Hermann Sons Life YouTube channel, one of the reasons we did those videos is so that first-time parents get a chance to actually look and see the, you'll be able to look and you'll be able to see what their dorms look like and what the facility looks like. That's arrival day. Now, this is, again, there's a lot going on this slide. I apologize. I broke shouldn't have more than 6 lines of text on any given slide. But the bottom line, these are the times that we've laid out for arrival day. Mini camp times, again, we'll email 2 weeks prior, might not coincide with this. Campers without a health history, we do not bunk a health history. So until we get that health history, your child will not be bunked. And basically, we've staggered arrival times to allow us to overstaff the dorms really, to make sure that your child, when they come into camp, there's lots of counselors and lots of campers all coming at the same time. So that's the process. We do ask that parents plan their arrival. I know it's not easy to be 100% accurate. There is a DQ in town. There's a McDonald's in town. There's other places. Manny's is a good place to go for tacos. If you want to have breakfast in the morning, you get here a little early. there's places to go, there's places to eat and to relax if you get here early. And as I say, you'll be receiving an email 2 weeks prior to your arrival. Cleaning and sanitizing, we're definitely, one of the side effects of the COVID pandemic is, it reminds everybody, one, you got to wash your hands and sanitize. I should have been doing that anyway, but more people are doing it now and they're more sensitized to doing things, and camp will be cleaner because of it. I mean, obviously, the dorms will be cleaned and sanitized every day. We have 2 chemical sprayers that we'll use inside the dining hall between meals. The dorms will be sprayed down between sessions so that you're coming into a freshly sanitized and clean dorm, and we will wipe down the activity equipment between uses. So there's definitely a lot more going on in camp than we previously would have done. The dining hall, we do have, this is probably the biggest change really to the process, is we are having the 2 meal seatings. Food will be served by the counselors cafeteria style. We will overserve to kind of reduce the amount of foot traffic in the dorm. Seconds will certainly be available. Nobody leaves the dining hall hungry. That's a key mantra of mine. Each dorm will bus their tables, clean and sanitize the tables and benches. And the campus will be doing that with their counselors. We'll be using individual condiments, pre-prepared salads and individual desserts. Silverware will be pre-rolled, and we'll be using pitchers of water, and the cups will be on the tables for the kids. So the menu, again, there's a lot to take in. Again, this is available. I will put this slide deck on in the YouTube, Hermann Sons Life YouTube. Do you have a question, Lisa?
Sorry, did I raise my hand?
Okay, I didn't want to, I just noticed it and I didn't want to make sure I didn't miss a question from you. So this is the menu. It's pretty much what we've served in the past. The biggest exception is the salad bars. We're going to be obviously doing pre-prepared salads and preparing, close to 400 salads for every lunch and dinner. So yeah, this is the schedule. As I say, it's a pretty, the schedule looks different for the kids, but it won't feel different because they'll still be doing clean for ice cream, except sometimes some of them will be before breakfast, some of them will be after breakfast. Relaxation and rest period, standard in camp. It's just some people will do relaxation or the canteen camp store before lunch. Some will do it after lunch. Rest period hasn't changed. It'll still be the same block of time for everybody to relax and chill out. Still got punch breaks, still got snacks breaks, still got time to prepare for the evening activity. Some people will do it before dinner, some people will do it after dinner. So nothing has been taken out of the schedule. Nothing has been taken. We've just switched the orders around a little bit to be able to socially distance in the dining hall and to space out. And I think one of the knock-on effects for Riverside it'll be a more pleasant dining experience. To be able to move your elbows is going to be nice. To be able to hear yourself talk should be nice. And so we're still doing everything that we would normally do during the day. Daily activities. This is the fun bit of camp. I get to start talking about the fun part of camp. Every parent got a link to an activity selection form. We have a boys and a girls one online. You rank activities 1 to 10. You pick the top 10 activities that your child would like to participate in. At camp, our program assistants will schedule your child 6 activity periods for the week. Our goal, and this is really important you understand, our goal is to give your child the top 6 activities that they have on their list. That's our goal. Sometimes it's not possible. Some of the reasons it's not possible is, you know, for example, if you chose adventure activities, the climbing tower, that's a double period. So I'm not going to be able to give you all 6 because that activity takes 2. And then sometimes you may want OLS or outdoor living skills. That's a double period. So you might not get the top 6. So, but our absolute goal is top 6 activities. That's our goal. At camp, your child will come into the dorm. They'll have their schedule on the bed. It's very important that when you talk to your camper, that you let them know. Our goal is top 6. If they look at the activity and then they're not overjoyed with what's on the card, they should be because you filled it out. Talk to your counselor. They'll take them to the program assistant, and we'll find out exactly what it is that they want to do, and we will endeavor to give them the activities they want. That happens a lot when parents fill out the forms without consulting their children. A lot of parents go, oh, I think they'll want to do this, 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 and this. And when they go to camp, the parent didn't include Gaga as an activity. You know, if your camper is 10, 11, or 12, there's a very good chance they'll want to do Gaga. Just throwing that out there, but a lot of parents wouldn't add that as an activity because they don't know what it is. So I'm just throwing it out. Please talk to your campers about their activity selections. And this is just a list of the activities that was all sent to you. I will, again, this is available. And hopefully you guys have filled out your forms. As I mentioned a little earlier, second week option is available now. We opened up session 3, 5, and 6 to campers who would like to do a second week of camp. You do still have to take them, so you can't do session 5 and leave your child there for session 6 because I have no staff but on Saturday night, so you must pick them up still and take them because I don't have staff on camp. But those sessions are now available for a second week. So if you've enrolled and you'd like to add a second week, please do. Evening activities, the highlight of the day, really not changed. The biggest change that we made, I had a senior staff meeting, the directors and the assistant directors, we all got together and we switched. The game night is now going to be on Riverside, where all the boys will go down to the girls' camp. We have a lot of carnival games. There'll be, you know, we'll play poker, we'll play carnival games, outdoor games. We'll let the kids play Gaga and stuff like that. And then on Thursday night, all the girls will come up to the boys' camp and we'll have to dance on the boys' camp. This is, you know, hasn't really changed since 2019. Very important themes of camp. This is the theme that we incorporate into game night. We incorporate it into the dance. And, you know, we start off with Disney Marvel. We go into neon, red, white, and blue, the 80s, which is one of my favorites. Unfortunately, we don't play as much 80s music as I'd like, but, you know, we do play some, so that's always good. And then we hit Hawaiian, Christmas in July, Halloween, and then Space Aliens will be the second mini camp one. So we're very excited. And the cookies are still the cookies. They'll still be good. Fridays, we don't have finals on Fridays. We do have, it'll be like a carnival mini Olympics type with lots of different games for activities for campus to choose. For example, if your child hasn't done archery before, didn't choose archery as an activity, but saw it when they were wandering around camp, and they looked at it and went, "Ooh, that looks nice." They can try it on Friday, so they can try some new activities on Friday that perhaps they haven't done all week. That's something that we are very excited about, and that we are pushing for that to be, and we're going to have a water carnival and wacky water games and things like that in the afternoon on Friday. That is that's the, is there anything that I did not cover that you have questions about? And again, if you want to put your camera on, that's totally okay with me. Any questions?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Sure. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Do you recommend a comforter blanket or a sleeping bag?
That's a great question. The way I would answer that, there's a couple of ways. One is if your camper, if they're first time away from home, I always feel like the bedding, as long as you it would be good to kind of mirror the bedding they have at home, so that they kind of feel, more comfortable. If your camper is totally cool and been away many times, and you want to give them the sleeping bag, you can do that. Definitely bring. I always prefer sheets and a blanket, something like that. Obviously, our dorms are air conditioned, so whatever they're comfortable with would be my answer to that. Whatever your children are most comfortable. I always recommend first time campers try and mirror their sleeping at home. If they have an animal or something, that not a real live one, but a stuffed animal or something like that that they sleep with, make sure they bring that as well, because that's that's just part of the process, and it's just one more thing that will help them in their acclimatization to camp.
I also saw that on your activity schedule there, you're going to have a masquerade dance. Is that something they need to bring a costume for?
The masquerade ball, we call it that because everyone will be wearing their mask, but it'll be the regular dance. And so if there's what session is your child?
The red, white, and blue.
Red, white, and blue. So it's a very patriotic theme. I mean, you'll see some of our staff like to get dressed up, and they'll be dressed in the theme. Some campers like to just dress nicely. The girls always dress up for it, not always in theme, but they like to dress up, look nice. The guys, if we can get them in a clean shirt and have them use deodorant, I'm always happy. I always find that's a big plus for us if we can manage that. But yeah, I like Hawaiian. You'll see a lot of Hawaiian shirts and things like that. Neon, people will have neon stuff going on. So yeah, there's something to the theme. Something that, again, it really, whatever you're comfortable with. But yes, we will have the red, white, and blue. It'll be very patriotic. Obviously celebrating Britain's colors. I think that's why we do red, white, and blue. I think, I'm not sure.
And the form, the medical form, that gets sent to the address.
The PO Box 629, please. Yes.
PO Box 629. In Comfort?
Comfort 78013.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, my pleasure.
Okay, I had a question.
Yeah.
My youngest is concerned about making her bed because, she's so hard. So the counselors will be helping those kids with that, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
Absolutely. They'll help her make the bed. They'll help her put her clothes out that she wants. She will be very well cared for on arrival. We will definitely make sure that making the bed is a big part. In fact, one of our staff trainings is to make sure our staff know how to make a bed.
Okay. Okay. And I do have 2 campers. So I said come with the later time for the youngest camper.
Yes, please.
Okay. And also for the medications, we use an over-the-counter allergy medicine. So how do we do about dosage for that?
We'll use whatever is on the box. However old the child is, we'll use whatever is on the box.
Okay. So if it says it can take 1 to 2 teaspoons, that's kind of thing. I'm pretty sure our allergy medicine says that.
Then whatever you would
We'll
normally
talk with the nurse.
prescribe.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as we have it in writing and it matches what the prescribed label says on the box, then we can administer it. It's when it goes off of, I have to worry about the nurses' licenses, and they can only dispense what's listed. So
Perfect.
that's what we go with. But if it's an over the counter, we'll just use what the
Recommend is. Okay.
recommended is.
Okay. Thank you.
That's correct, right, Misty?
Absolutely. You're doing good.
All right. Well, I want to make sure I got that right. Very cool.
I have some food related questions. I have a first year camper. I'm guessing they don't bring any food and we can't send any food in the mail. So
No, no, they get 2 snacks a day. They get 3 meals a day. You know, it's very important to me that no camper leaves the dining hall hungry. That's really important. The senior counselors really take a proactive approach. You know, this is Texas. It's the middle of summer. It's 90+ degrees and sunny, we hope. Hopefully May is an anomaly here. But yeah, our goal and is to make sure that they're fed well. We have a bunch of different types of snacks and stuff like that.
okay. And should they bring their own water bottle to refill at the water stations?
We provide water bottles.
Okay.
Every camper will get a water bottle when they come into camp. Some people will bring their own. You're welcome to, but as I say, we will provide one for every camper upon their arrival. It'll be on their bed waiting for them.
Cool. And then when they get their dorm assignment, does a packing list come with that? Or is it
The
posted
packing
somewhere?
list should be available to you in the parents' handbook. If you go to the parents' handbook, there should have been a link once you enrolled. You can jump right in there. There is a clothing list in there, obviously tailored to your child's.
Right. Okay, and then last question, the canteen, do we put money on that online or is that something we send with them?
You can
what
do
kind
it
of thing-
online through Class Juggler. You can. We will be accepting. We do, and what you do is you buy vouchers ahead of it. You can go online, buy a voucher for your child, and then when they come to the camp store, and every dorm goes once a week to the camp store, they'll go up, they'll say their name, we'll go, okay, you've got this much, and then they'll be able to pick up the items that they want. We're also, the camp store is open right now. It's actually online. So if you wanted to pick up and purchase items online, you can do that. And up to June 4th, I hope I got that date right, up to June 4th, anything you purchase online will be packaged and put on the bed when your child arrives in camp. We will be closing the online store on the 4th. So you'll be able to buy stuff, t-shirts and stuff. It's all available online. Oh, we got another visitor. Hello. So you will be able to pick up stuff online until June 4th. After that, you can buy stuff at the camp store, and we will accept money and the vouchers that were prepaid.
Okay. So we can just send money, I guess is what
Yes,
I'm asking.
You can, yes.
Okay.
So Ian,
Yes.
so we can send money with the campers, or should we buy vouchers ahead of time? I kind of zoned out for a
You
minute
can
there.
send money. My preference is always to have the vouchers and not have the campers deal with money, because often they,
Okay.
you know.
And we buy the vouchers online.
Yes, you can buy them online through the Class Juggler system.
So there's no voucher in the drive-through drop-off? Is
No.
there a place to buy vouchers? We need to do that beforehand.
Yes.
Okay,
Although that is a great question, and
because that might be helpful to parent, you know.
maybe.
Yeah, that would be a great addition. Yeah.
That's a great question, and I will I will write that down, and I'll see what the process is and how difficult that would be. But that's a great suggestion, and it's one we'll look into.
Can I ask what the question was? Because my thing froze up.
Yes, of course. The question was, can you buy vouchers online?
Right, that one I
to the
did,
camp
yes.
store. You can buy the vouchers online. The question was, can we buy them in the drop-off process? I wouldn't be able to accept credit cards on the
Right.
drive-through. But I will look at, and I'll talk to Cecily, the Vice President of Member Benefits, and see what the process would be about possibly having vouchers available on the drive-through, so that if you wanted to purchase them, we write the camper's name and take the money and then put them, and then we might be able to do that. I've got to talk to Cecily about the procedure and the process.
Ian, one more question about that.
Sure.
Like, how much, I know you can't answer this really, but it depends on the child, but how much do you think a kid would need for a week to buy some candy or chips?
I can tell you, it depends on your child, really.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
you give some campers $20, they'll spend $20 regardless.
The first day.
Give some
Right.
campers $50, they'll spend $50 regardless. That's why I like the online store, because you
Yeah.
can take care of like the big items, like if
Right.
you buy a sweatshirt, or if you wanted to buy a t-shirt. I think t-shirts are, I don't know, $15, or if they wanted to buy a hat, or sometimes they
Yeah.
want to buy little knickknacks and a gift for their siblings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like $20, I think, is the norm. I would
Right.
say I wouldn't go,
Okay.
you know.
But they only go to the store one time
Yeah,
during the,
yeah, they only go once.
Okay.
Each dorm gets assigned to go to the canteen once during their stay with us.
Okay.
And it has food for sale. Is that what she just said? It's not just
no
items?
food. No food.
No food.
We feed. That's part of your enrollment. That's part of the enrollment. We provide. We do snacks. We do. We have obviously the
This is just for like shirts and knickknack kind of thing.
shirts, knickknacks. You know, like those footballs that you know, those soft
okay.
footballs, and I can't even think of any items right now off the top of my head, like postcards and, you know, window stickers and stuff. All the stuff to help advertise us.
And I could add something to that. I don't know if you guys have girls, but they wear lanyards to camp typically, and they sell little stuffed animals that you can attach the lanyards.
Yeah.
The kids love that. They have little headbands and bandanas. So the kids love to buy fun things like that. It's really a fun thing for them to do.
Awesome. Thank you, Lindsay. And she wasn't planted into this conversation. That was all. So I
No,
do
we're
appreciate,
third
I
generation
appreciate
campers.
that.
We
Thank
love
you.
it. Yeah, of course.
All right. Any other questions? I'm excited. I don't know about you guys, but I am absolutely, I just simply cannot wait for the summer to kick off. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody, all the campers in camp, and really providing a really cool summer for these kids. I think we all need the summer. I think we all need the camp this year more than ever. And you know, the good news is we've got a lot of staff who also feel the very same way. There's a real high proportion of returning staff members coming into camp this year, because they missed camp as much as y'all did. And so,
do you have somebody in the office daily to answer phone calls?
Yes, I have someone at boys and girls camp between 8 and 4. We have someone in the office. Now, if you look at all of the emails that I send out, you will also see my cell phone number. If you have a question you can't get through, if it's an emergency, you can use my cell phone number. I have someone answering the phones between 8 and 4. That doesn't mean to say if you call at 5:30, we're not going to answer the phone. Someone may be on the phone. For example, if I'm doing paperwork and stuff at 10 o'clock at night and the phone rings, I answer it. We're a customer service business, so I will pick up the phone and answer it. We don't have anyone in the weekends, but again, you have my cell phone number. It's on everything. The reason I give my cell phone number out, and there are some camp directors think I'm crazy to give my cell phone number out, because no, I want you to know I'm looking after your child. So as far as I'm concerned, you need to have my number. You need to have access to me 24/7 if needs be. So that's what it's there for. And so we give you all of the camp numbers. We give you my cell phone number. If you really need me, shoot me a text as well. If you're, hey, Ian, that's what it's there for. You know, I'm looking after your most precious possessions. So I take that responsibility very seriously. And I want to make sure that you guys are comfortable. If you need to get a hold of us, you can get a hold of us.
And I remember when we talked about camp for last, or actually, I guess it was last year before all this happened, you had talked about having the photos and putting a few more photos on. Is that going to continue? Okay, that's great. That is so fun to see.
Thank you, Lindsay. All of our photos are going to be posted. In 2019, we used a website, and it was a little clunky for parents to use, and it was a little difficult to handle. This year, if you go to the Hermann Sons, it's an app. There's a camp app, or it's an app for Hermann Sons Life. Download that. We will be posting the photos to the app, and you'll be able to, there's no charge. You'll be able to download the photos. You'll be able to, share them with aunts, uncles, grandparents, and stuff like that. It's we wanted a process that was easy for you guys, or easier for you guys, and get you guys more involved. So we will be posting photos every day. I can't guarantee that your child will be in the photos. Some people actively avoid the camera as much as possible. I can't do anything about that, but we try and get as many photos up there as possible so that we can capture your child on camera. And the reason is, a picture says 1,000 words. It'll make you guys, when you see a picture of your child and you look at them and go, oh, she's having a blast. They're having a blast, because you look, you can tell. Your parents, so that's why we do it, because it's for you guys as much as us. So download the camp app. We'll also be able to use that camp app to communicate with our parents as well. Someone was talking about it rained and they had to, they could kayak to one of the dorms during the summer. It rained so much. Well, if we are having for example, an emergency weather situation where we have to evacuate Riverside and bring the campers up to the boys' camp, we will communicate through the app to every parent to let them know, hey, just so you know, everyone's safe. Take that, give you that peace of mind that we'll communicate with you and let you know what's going on. So I do highly recommend that you join up and sign up with the camp app.
Is skunk mail going to be with that, or is that going to be traditionally the website like it was?
Lindsay, you're like a plant. These are brilliant. Thank you. Yes. Well, it's not called skunk mail anymore. It is it's through the app. Basically, you just go online, click on, it's a one touch. You write your email in the, you write the camp and the the camper's name in the subject line, and you send it to us, and we print them out at 1 o'clock every day and get it to the campers at dinner time. So, yeah,
Thank you.
every day. No, thank you. That was a great question. Thank you. As I say, this is for you guys, and this is to answer your questions. And as I say, the fact that a lot of this stuff that I hadn't planned on talking about is now on here. Hopefully I'll be able to, should put this up so that more parents will have the information that you guys wanted. So I'm very excited.
Ian, I have a question. With the medical, the information that we send in on our camper, the medical information, is it in far earlier? Like, is it better to send it early, like now, if your camper comes in July, or would you prefer that we wait closer?
I like to have the forms here. I mean, obviously some people are going to have doctor's appointments, and there might be some little changes to it, which you can do with the nurse as you go through. That the medication form comes on the day. That way, this is the most up to date. You fill that out, but give us the health history ahead of time, because it does help us in regards to, at one, the mail service is really bad. And I've literally got mail here that was mailed, probably 4 weeks ago, and just arriving. Mails can be really slow up here. So if the sooner you send it, the better.
Okay.
And then once I have it, and that's really so that our nurses review the medical forms, not for their session necessarily. They do when they get here, but they review them for the sessions that follow. And they go through it and make notations so that we know that, if I'm a counselor in Armadillo, I know before any campers arrive that one of my campers, Jacob Brassett, one of my campers is allergic to bee stings. I know that before they get to camp. If I get it on the day, it goes to the nurse checks it. The nurse has to compile the medical list, then goes to the dorm. Well, the camper's been here for 4 hours, 5 hours. What if they got stung in the meantime? That counselor, how they react may differ based upon, allergies and things like that. So it's really important that we get the information as soon as possible so that we can.
Okay. I just didn't know if you wanted it closer, like with, or now. I just didn't know if that was overwhelming the paperwork for, you know what I mean? If it needed to be staggered.
I would rather the paperwork overwhelming on May 15th than the paperwork being overwhelming on June 13th.
Right. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
No worries.
I just downloaded the app and it's asking for a registration code for first-time users. Just FYI, like I can't get any further than downloading the app. You don't have to give it to me now. I'm just letting you know that that's.
I'll tell you what. Let me. I will get that. I will get that code for you, and I will email you.
I think.
No worries. As I say, I hadn't even thought about it, and then it was brought up. So no, I will definitely get that code for you, and I'll
it looks like a great resource. I'm excited about it.
Yes, it is. I really like it. I think it's a huge plus, not only for for dance classes. I think they have on there, as well as for the camp, as well as for the company as a whole. It's a really cool. It's a really cool tool. Great tool. All right. Well, I appreciate you all being on. I appreciate you all spending a little bit of time with me this morning. And if you do have any questions that come up as we go through, that's what I'm here for. And my job is to, make this as easy as it possible for the parents and as fun as possible for the campers. So if you do have anything don't hesitate to reach out.
Well, thank you very much for working so hard to make this safe and great for the kids. We are so looking forward to it, and we really appreciate all your hard work to make this happen.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and I look forward to seeing all the kiddos this summer. All right, take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.